my
There's Kenny.
gosh.
Kenny C is in the house, so he'll be on the show later today. Sorry, I couldn't make Kenny Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C today. As you all know, last night at sundown, it's been a Jewish holiday last night from sundown to sundown tonight. And we were fasting and all that, and I didn't eat dinner until 5:30, even later than that. So, sorry, Kenny. What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing about how my good friend who's a Cowboy fan is saying that
He's listening. He's listening.
He's listening and he's laughing, but he knows that he thinks that he can easily out-debate you in sports.
Then you know what? You think you can easily out-debate me in sports? Then
Yeah.
get your sports-knowing ass in the chat room, Junior. It's that simple. Right? It's that simple. So we got one of the leaders in the pool, in the football pick'em pool in the house with us, Kenny C. Gio, I spoke to him earlier. I don't know if he can make it. I don't know if his Skype is working. He said it wasn't working earlier. I'm hoping that he can be on the show. If not, we'll just have Kenny C, you and me making our picks. But I'm hoping to get Gio on because it would be nice to have Gio on, man.
Gio's great.
It'd be nice to have Gio on with us. So I'm kind of hoping that he'll be around. I told him the time, so hopefully he'll come on the show. What do you got for us for the first topic of the show
he just
before
said,
we get into
I'm
the second
so
half?
famous right now since the Cowboys beat the Midgets
He's
on
listening. that just proves my point that he's actually listening to the show and is afraid to come into the chat room. So Sean, this is what I want you to do. Get off your Facebook page and don't say anything else he says on Facebook.
I know. I'm sorry. It's hysterical.
Completely
Okay,
ignore him until he comes on the show in the chat room.
Okay. The first topic we get to, since we had yesterday off, we're going to cover Thursday night game. As everybody knows, the New England Patriots and the New York Jets, we all know that they're old rivals going back to the old AFL days. They meet, they play, and the game was, of course, what I consider to be an ugly win for the New England Patriots, and ugly for the Jets.
Buddy.
Both teams were just sloppy on Thursday night. The Patriots barely escaped that game.
That's your team, the New England Patriots, you old Jet fan, you. I still can't get over the fact that you were a Jet fan, and when Tim Tebow became a Jet, you left the Jets and went to New England. And when then Tim Tebow went over to New England, you didn't leave New England, you stayed there. But the fact that you left being a Jet fan to becoming a New England fan is makes me speechless. I don't understand it one bit.
Well, you know,
how long have you been a Jet fan?
Oh, probably not very long. I wouldn't. Anyway.
That's great. Probably not that long anyway. That's great, Sean. Sean, how long have I known you and you've never told me that?
Well, it's been, we've been for 5 years.
Okay, I have to ask you a question. When you were taking the course that I was teaching, were you a Jet fan then?
I think so.
You think so?
I can't remember.
What is it? It's not that far back, is it?
I can't remember. My mind's a blur because I'm
laughing. You've been hanging out with me too long and drinking too much Mountain Dew and milk.
Well, I'm drinking a Code Red right now for a Mountain Dew.
Code Red and Mountain Dew?
Yeah, Code Red Mountain Dew is what it is. I'm drinking some right now.
Mm-hmm. I thought I put you on a strictly iced tea diet.
Well, those iced tea days, I guess, are pretty much
man. That's what I drink.
I haven't had iced tea in a long time.
That's all I drink every day, all day long. Iced tea, and that's it, my friend. And so what's the first topic? The stupid game that was
okay.
Oh, yeah, that stupid game that was on Thursday night that I didn't get to see because I don't have the NFL freaking channel.
Yeah,
something, you know, that really pisses me off. The NFL puts a game on Thursday night on the NFL Network. Not everybody in America has the NFL Network, you jackasses. I would say about half. So right there, you're alienating half of your fans. That's not smart football, is it?
Well, remember, it was the rule that Roger Goodell made last year when he said from now on, from like week 1, all the way to like week 14 or 15, they're going to play games on Thursday nights.
That stinks. It stinks. I hate it.
On NFL Network.
Yeah. Why? I don't have the NFL Network in the studio. What the hell?
And when I read that topic and we talked about it, I just sit there. I shook my head and I was like, other people can't afford to buy themselves a satellite. Other people don't even have it.
Right, okay. Speaking of a topic, because you just said something that made me think of another topic. A couple of weeks ago, you and I talked about if there were fights in the NFL stands and somebody gets thrown out, they're going to have to take a course online to be able to be allowed back into the stadium to watch their home team play, and they would have to pay for the course out of their own fans' pocket, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, the Seattle Seahawks are taking it, and the NFL, which I'm glad they're doing it, is taking it a step further. I don't know if you saw this. I talked about this with Kenny C during the week on the show, and I don't know if you see that. The Seattle Seahawks, in the 49er game that's going to happen tomorrow, they will have undercover officers wearing 49er jersey uniforms in the stands to see if anybody picks a fight or starts anything with them. And if they do, they will be properly introduced to the outside of the stadium. and maybe have their season tickets revoked if they're a season ticket holder. And if they want to come back into the stadium, they have to take a 4-hour online internet course at the cost of $75.
Jeff would be like, if that happened to me, I would not even want to deal with that.
No, I'm not going back. You know what I do? If I was a season ticket holder and they kicked me out and didn't revoke my season tickets,
what would you do?
I would turn around and sell my season tickets for every game. Every game, I'd put them on Craigslist. So
I can see why. Oh, but that's kind of one of the big topics.
I ain't paying the $75 to get back into no freaking stadium. They already paid $3,000 for season tickets. Go scratch my butt. How about that?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So and the NFL is going to start doing it. I like that because there'll be cops in the stands wearing, like, one undercover cop will be wearing a Colin Kaepernick jersey. Somebody else will be wearing, say, somebody else's jersey. You know what I mean? And if a fan starts with the cop, fans can get crap. And I kind of like that. They're in there, want to stop it before it really, really gets any bad than it already is getting out there. I mean, I was at a game with my nephew last year, the Oakland game and Charger game, and there was a fight the next throw over to me 3 rows up. It was ridiculous. So,
well, there's another
fact
there's another factor that comes into play, Jeff, and the factor is alcohol. If you can drink too much alcohol, people get wild, people get crazy, and that's what leads to clashes, conflicts, and confrontations. So that's why probably Roger Goodell is saying, you know what? Fans need to just act mature, act their age, not act like children, and just go to the game and enjoy it. But if you're not, then you're going to have to suffer the consequences. And then you think about it, 4-hour course. I know I would be irked having to pay $75 out of my
4 hours?
pocket.
My time is worth more than that, dude. I got 4 hours. I'd rather be doing something else. Okay?
Well, you got to work in your studio and get prepared for shows and sports.
So let me ask you, look, one of our listeners in the chat room says, can't blame the Cowboy fan for not showing their face in the chat. Most of the time, Romo looks like Brokeback Mountain sort of cowboy. Just saying. Did you see on Sunday night when the Giants knocked him, made him almost broke his ribs? They showed his wife. They showed his wife, and as soon as they showed his wife, she turned around like as she was talking to somebody behind her. That's because they didn't want to see it.
Yeah,
that's because
I saw Romo's wife just with a look of concern on her face.
Yeah, and she goes, "Oh no, I can't believe I married this guy." He is an average quarterback at best who still didn't have a better day than freaking Eli Manning and got lucky. And you want to know something? Their defense scored more than they did.
Well, Dallas was very, very lucky they pulled that out because they're up by 17 points. Yet the Giants fought all the way to the end and made that a game. And
how do you get 6 turnovers in a game and still only win by 5 points? Huh?
The automatic rule is, and it came from one of the former Washington Redskin greats. I don't know what his name is for the coach, but he made a rule. He says if you turn the ball over 3 or more times, you automatically lose the game.
Well, normally you do. And the Giants turned it over 6 times and almost won that freaking game.
Yeah, and of course Eli Manning is going to have to play a lot better tomorrow. We'll get into that pick with Denver, but it was a tough loss, for him. But, long season, it's early. You know how September is, and then things will really start picking up in the upcoming months in October and, of course, November. And speaking of which, we kind of go back to Thursday night's game. The Jets had the same problem as far as turnovers go. They turned it over 4 times in the game. Geno Smith was picked 3 times. He's taken over for Mark Sanchez, who will be out for the rest of the year. And the Pats did not turn it over once. But, real quickly, Jeff, New England played sloppy too. Brady was not at his best game too.
You want to know something? On Thursday's show, Kenny and I asked Kenny how many interceptions you thought that Geno was going to throw. Kenny said, if I remember correctly, Kenny said 1. Okay? Then he asked me how many I thought he was going to throw. Sean, how many did he throw?
3.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, you got the prediction right.
Mr. Prediction Cowboy fan. See, I did it again. Shut up.
So, the Jets, they fall to 1-1 on the season. The Jets know that was not going to be an easy game. New England, they got up 10-0 in the game. And their biggest lead, of course, was 10, but it was ugly all around. Brady was not at his best game. Patriots only had 9 first downs in the game. There was a lot of dropped passes in the game. The Jets had a total of 15 first downs, and they could have won the game, the Jets can. And, as a Patriot fan, I'm happy they've won both games, but they need to get healthy. The Patriots have got a big problem right now, and they're just not a healthy team. They need to get everybody back. They need to get Gronkowski back. They need to get everybody healthy in order to really be a threat, and they will. And Brady, said my body language was bad. You could see how upset he was because he didn't want to make one single mistake, and the Jets did really make it a game. They had a chance late in the game with 2 minutes left, but Geno threw that third pick, and there's your game right there.
They stink. Hey, you know something? Our good friend Casey Rollins is in the house, the owner of Honest Answer Radio. They do a great news show. They're like the news guys of Sports World Radio.
Thank you, Casey, for coming in, bud. Nice to meet you.
And we're on Honest Answer Radio on their website as well, so check out honestanswerradio.com. Great stuff over there. Those 2 guys, Casey and his brother, they put on Casey and Marty, they put on a freaking great show. There's going to be a lot of good things to come with those guys in Sports World Radio. You guys just stick tuned for that.
And back to some more statistical facts here from this game. Okay, Bill Belichick.
You love talking about those freaking Patriots, don't you?
Yeah, well, prior to Thursday night, here's a little statistical fact. First-year quarterbacks are 0-4 against Bill Belichick in Foxborough, losing by an average of 23.5 points per game. Here's a look, and of course they got a list here of the quarterbacks. You got Geno
but that game wasn't
Smith,
in Foxborough.
Ryan Tannehill.
That's the problem. That game was in Foxborough. That game was in New York. So there's the first problem.
And here's the statistical facts of the games. Geno Smith did have a good game, though, even though he threw 3 picks. He was 15 of 35. He threw for 214 yards, 0 TD passes, and 3 interceptions.
Woo-hoo,
Tom Brady, on the other hand, he was 19 of 39. He threw for 185 yards, 1 TD, and 0 interceptions. And Brady goes, quote, "We have a long way to go," said Brady. I mean, I completed 19 of 39 for, no one is coming to our rescue and save the day. So we've just got to fight through it. And I would agree with Brady a lot. The Patriots are going to be tough, of course, but they've got to get healthy. And they've got a little bit of what I consider a receiver problem. Just a little bit of one.
You think?
I think I know, but
I think both.
So yeah, there's your week 2 game to start off.
Sean,
week 2, actually.
Sean, I actually think both teams have a receiver problem.
Well, for me, in my opinion, with